gonna do a Python software interview question, and you might be wondering, well, if you're watching this in order, which I doubt you would if you stumbled across this via SEO, like you're studying for very long interviews and you're uploading on YouTube for practice to, as practice to, talk through the questions as you work on them. Why are you doing Python? That's a great question. I have that same question myself because I handed in my resume to um, a recruiter, and pretty much it's just like a decade of hardware experience. And then on the side note, it's like, oh yeah, side project, I did this in Node.js, Python. And then it's like, oh, there's this company that hires for both hardware and software, and they want you to interview for the software position. And I'm like, okay, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to even get an interview, but at the same time, it's like, um, dumb because now I have to study for both software and hardware. The way I think this works is you click on this and you have like two questions. Um, and I'll probably just do one question, cut off the video, and then record another one if it's two questions. If it's one very hard question, then you can watch me stumble because I probably won't be able to finish. So let's go. All right. An integer x is good if rotating each digit individually by 180 degrees, you get a value number that's different from what? How about like 3, 7? Mm, hmm. There are 4 good numbers, 1 to 10. So, let's see. I want to throw in a test case where um, so I guess when you rotate 3, 4, 7, I'm playing like Sudoku here. Like, they're not good numbers because if you spin them around, they're not. If you spin them around, they're not numbers. So basically, I guess this question is just asking like, if um, you if you have a number where like 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 doesn't exist, and then you also want to make sure that not all numbers are 0, 1, 8, right? And then n, okay. Given it, so return the number of good numbers. Okay, so you basically need an algorithm to detect if the number is good or not. Okay. So it's actually 1 to this, because in their example it's 1 to 10. And then I feel like doing this. And then I feel like doing a check where you know, for letter in S, like uh, four or S equals 7, then just break, and now just do like count equals 0. And so that says, so if I detect 3, 4, 7, then it's not going to be a valid number. And then if basically like, so another way to say not on number 0, 1, 8, after we've checked this, that means we're checking like there exists some number, you know, like 2, 5, 6, 9. Then we're good, then we're done. Basically 2, 5, 6, 9, 2, 5, 6, 9, and then 3, 4, 7 doesn't exist. And so if we scan all the letters and we don't find these and we don't find these, then we don't increase our count at all. And I believe that's it. If it compiles. All right. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's quite annoying. My output's 4. Right? Really? Um. I'm just gonna REPL it with Python. And 7. And I'm very curious, like, for example, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't work because if I detect this first and then this, right? Okay. So this refer is just a flag where basically if I'm scanning a particular number, um, default it as false, and I set it to true. Basically, I'm gonna count +1, and then if uh, this still set this flag to true, and then later on if it detect this revert as true, then I'll just revert my count, so minus equals 1 to undo this action. But if I haven't, run into this yet, and I run into this letter first, then I'll just do the count. So maybe let me run that again. What? Unless this is wrong. But if that's wrong, I don't really understand the question at all. Or unless I'm missing 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. Oh, and it can't be if 2 or 5 or 6 or 9, then, this is eligible, so count plus equals 1, and I add this revert. But I don't get why it's 490 regardless of whether I have this revert or not. For example, what if I just did this, Well, I mean, that'd obviously be wrong, but um, Oh, this is a double count also. Yeah. So if revert is true, then we don't keep counting. So like if like 2269 or something, uh, we already set this flag, so we don't want to double or triple count it, which is why I guess the number's so high. Let's see what else is wrong. Okay, now it's negative somehow. If it's 347, if I break out of this, I would execute this again. So false. If this is false, I would just keep the count. Oh, actually, oh God. So I set revert already here. Yeah, what I did before, this would never execute. Okay, so that's the end of this one, and that sucked. Yeah, I think two mistakes. One is setting the if else statement right before the status, or sorry, right after status, but it really should be, this update should always come after the check, if you're doing these checking things. And then the other is not thinking about the case where like, yeah, multiple of these going before these or after these, where, so I mean, here I can clearly break, but here I cannot break. So it's a necessary but not sufficient condition to have one of these letters to be able to increase your count. So breaking prematurely would give you an overcount because then you might have some trailing 347s at the end. Alrighty, uploading. See you in the next one.